So if you're gonna have a healthy breakfast, maybe don't buy the healthiest thing that tastes like shit. If you hate it, you're not gonna do it.
Did you say the cutest thing you've ever seen?
Because it looked like I was your dad trying to help you do a pull-up, man. It was
Well,
weird.
Business over drinks. Business over drinks. This is Dave and Terng. This is business over drinks.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Business for Drinks, and this is a special one because it's a book review. And here we go again.
Hey, we are celebrating the fact that Terng has learned how to read.
Woo!
Congratulations.
Peace
Terng's
out.
first book.
To be fair, it was an audiobook, so my bad. Anywho, I didn't actually learn how to read, and I don't know what I'm doing. But it's how it is, yeah.
Yeah, we have to learn to tolerate Terng, everyone. No discrimination in this world. It's 2023. You'll get cancelled if you bully him.
You will be.
All
You
right.
will be cancelled. All right,
So
man. We got a really
what book?
exciting one. Atomic Habits by James Clear. Do you know who
Excellent.
James Clear is actually?
No, I don't.
So he was a former, I think he was a D1 athlete in the US. I could be wrong about that, but I think he went semi-pro. He never actually went full pro. What he did was he started a blog one day after his career was kind of like towards the end of it, after it ended. And he started talking about, the lessons he learned, how he wanted to change habits, become healthier, just started building a community and kind of growing out of that. So throughout the entire audiobook and also I'm assuming in the actual book, I don't know, but throughout the entire audiobook, he always goes back to his website, which is interesting because it does like a really weird call to action throughout the entire audiobook, which was, like, oh, for more templates on how to do this, go to my website, blah, 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 blah.com. And I was like, that's weird because in it's you're listening to an audiobook, but you're getting call to actions each time. So I was like, okay, cool. No, but it's a really interesting book. I struggle to start the book because I've always had a very strong sentiment that I don't read anything that could be considered self help because I often feel like it. They're not trying to help you; they're just trying to push you towards certain things that you already know or things that maybe don't work for you in order to get some money. But I thought, what the hell? I had some Amazon credits, so I thought let's have a quick read.
So, what's this book about?
So actually it follows kind of like the four principles of behavioral change. That's the one of the most interesting things because what he actually does is he kind of tries to give you the framework on how to change behaviors and make it sustainable and make it achievable rather than saying you have to do this, you have to do that. You know how Andrew Tate would say do this, do that, do this, do that, versus kind of giving you the building blocks on how to do that. Atomic Habits is the entire book teaches you on how to make change achievable and sustainable for you. So maybe I'll give you just a little bit of a synopsis, right? So there are four laws. He calls it laws of behavioral change, according to James Clear. One is to make it obvious. So what are the changes that need to be made to actually put certain things that would trigger you to do that new behavior, new activity in front of you. And I'll give you kind of examples, things that I've done in my life that kind of fit or fall within that. The second thing is to make it attractive. If you make behavioral change really shitty and something that you don't want to do, there's a very low chance you'll actually do it, right? The third one is to make it easy. So rather than saying I'm going to scale Mount Everest, let's put manageable steps in front of you, and then let's go on that one. And the fourth one is to make it satisfying, right? So when you achieve it, let there be some sort of sense of accomplishment in things that you do. I'm going to kind of focus on the first two, I think, because to me these were things I was already doing, but the way he described it, I thought was really interesting and also kind of a good way to make things palatable to people who maybe don't have a ton of self control or maybe are really busy and then don't have the time to think about it into a point where there's like, okay, if I need to make a change, I got to do so many things. It's gonna be so difficult.
All
What
right.
about you, man? Have you ever heard of this book before?
I've heard of the book. I've gone a similar gist to it. There's another book that it reminds me of, which is Slight Edge. I think it's a much older book, and it's about developing micro habits and doing things
Yep, yep.
one small thing at a time, and that small thing ends up being an amazing thing. So, for example, avoiding cake every day. If you eat a cake for
Yeah.
one day, nothing wrong happens. But if you eat a cake every day, something significantly bad happens. But if you do the opposite, something good will happen in the long run. So do you want to tell us more about the first two laws? You was telling a little. How can you?
Yeah.
How
So
can the listeners kind of like implement it into their lives?
oh, it's really easy, right? So there's a couple things that I do that make it really easy. So one thing that I really want to do was to make it easier for me to have a healthier breakfast. Because usually what I would do if I was going to work or whatever, I'll grab like whatever's easiest. And that could be something really unhealthy. It could be like a sweet bun, or that could be like something super fatty, or just really
Mm.
just shit. It could be really, really shit.
Like literally shit.
So what I started to do is just make it really obvious and really easy, right? So, for example, on the counter when I wake up after I get ready, there's like fruit. There's fruit, there's like healthier snacks, there's like a proper breakfast kind of ready for me, all from last night or from like a week ago, things that I can pack and pick up and go, right? So it's obviously in front of me. That could be something as easy as when I wanted to take my supplements, then I got to take them on like a daily regimen of supplements that I take in order to like make sure that my health is kind of optimal. I kind of keep my supplements smack bang right in front of me whenever I go and do stuff because I know I'll forget. I'm usually busy. I'm thinking about other stuff. I got things to do. Unlike Dave, I actually do have rather busy life, so I got to make sure that my supplements are kind of like right in front of me because I don't even know if I don't take them, right? Because I'm not thinking about them and they don't have a profound effect on a daily basis. But over a long term period, they will. So if I keep on forgetting it, I'm going to feel it later on, but in a very incremental way. And that's probably not a good thing, right? The second thing is actually make it attractive, right? So when you make whatever you want. So if you're going to have a healthy breakfast, maybe don't buy the healthiest thing that tastes like shit. Maybe don't put supplements like maybe don't put supplements that are going to make you feel sick or ill. Try and find things that are positive, that have a positive change for you, but it shouldn't be something so unattractive or something so unappealing that you're not going to do it, right? I mean, it's just really, really, really simple. If you hate it, you're not going to do it. So that's why when people kind of teach you to do stuff and they say you just got to suck it up and you got to do it, most people drop off. Most people
Yeah,
drop out.
like a New Year's resolution, right? Like this year I'm going to do this and this, but after a
Yeah,
week or so, go back to the old habits.
yeah. So I never have new resolutions, which is really odd because I in the last 2 to 3 years I've made a ton of changes in my life, positive changes. To be healthier, to kind of focus on a lot of things, remove negative habits from my life. This was before reading the book as well. I just thought, okay, I kind of got to do this for myself, right? So there have been ups and downs, but what I really found that worked is if I didn't enjoy doing what I was doing, I can maybe force myself to do it for a couple of months, but after some time, I'm just going to naturally drop off because it's not really interesting to me, right?
Mm.
So therefore, what I usually do is I try and find things that are positive. Like, if I'm so to be healthier, you got to work out, right? I'm picking exercises that make me feel real good. I'm enjoying the fruits of my labor. So, I feel healthier. I can jump higher. My knees don't hurt. Because when I'm losing weight, that also means that, my body feels better.
Mm.
So it's a very attractive thing to do because there are benefits to what we do, right? I'll touch on the third law because I actually think the third law is really interesting. Is to make it easy. It's something as simple as like having it accessible at all times. You know, if you're in my backpack, I'll put something that I know that I need to take. So it could be my supplements in my backpack when I travel, right? So right
Yeah.
there, really easy, accessible. I don't need to go and like do anything special. So when I travel for work, it is one of the most exhausting things you do because sometimes I literally forget which bit I'm waking up in because I'll have traveled through 3 countries in like 2 weeks, and I'm working from 9 a.m. till like midnight every single day. Right? It's exhausting. But what I don't have to worry about is I don't have to worry about packing everything, making sure that I have all my right cables. Because what I did was I bought like multiple versions of the same thing, and just keep little travel packs with me. So like anything from my data cables, making sure that I have travel size travel kits for supplements. That if I'm just using the supplement example, I'm not obsessed with supplements. And
Yeah.
then having kind of like all my like all my foreign currency kind of like in a little box and in a little packet that I can carry with me. So it's really easy. So at no point do I need to worry about not having any cash on me, right? Because I know the countries that I'm going to go to. If you're going to 150 countries, you're probably going to be stuck on that one. But if you're going to two or three like I do, you already know which currencies you need.
Hmm.
So I mean, the book is to me the book is really simple. You it is very relatable, which I think is probably why it was a massive bestseller. And maybe where if I was to critique the book a little bit, it is telling me almost everything I do anyway, right? Most of us probably, especially if you think about it, in a little bit more with a little bit more emphasis on introspection, you kind of realize these are the things that you got to do, right?
Yep.
But overall, I thought it was a really good read. It was a really easy read. I think James Clear understands how to communicate with people because I believe his mailing list for his website is about 4 million people. So
Jesus.
he's not like a he was like one of the first big bloggers to kind of like make it into like the traditional book space.
Yeah. Wow. So essentially, it sounds like the Atomic Habits is about tricking yourself into becoming a better person by making it so easy to develop these more positive habits that
Well, no,
normally
so
you get
it's not.
turned away
It's not
from.
even tricking. I think is like a negative connotation, right? Because he's not tricking yourself. Technically, what he's doing is, and it's in the name. He's breaking down every habit into
Mm.
multiple little bits. Where if you just do these really small things that are going to take very little or no effort from your part, you're going to be able to actually achieve a significant behavioral change or create a new habit through fulfillment of small atomic habits within that, right?
Yep.
That's what he's been that's what he kind of teaches you to do because everything he said is kind of is can be broken down into micro bits. And he's right. Like it's how we do a lot of things. It's how I've gotten a lot healthier. It's like how I've been able to sleep better. I sleep way better nowadays. Dave, have you done anything that actually helps you
I'm
change?
going to say quite about that sleep art, but that reminds me about something. We'll wrap up soon because this is a quick summary. But this reminds me of something about one of our previous guests, Jace Tan, told us. We asked her for some advice on how to improve your life, some easy, quick and easy tips, and a lot of self-help gurus out there would say, oh, you need to buy this, you need to have this amazing morning routine, you need to meditate, you need to jump into a pool of ice. But she was just saying, do these really simple things: drink more water, do stretches every so often, and change a setting on your phone to make it dim at nighttime. And those small things can dramatically improve your health and then therefore your creativity and so many other things in your life just
Yeah.
by doing those things.
There's a knock-on effect for everything. One good thing leads to another good thing, leads to another good thing.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's it. Oh, so you're asking me what do I do? What's interesting is one trick that one way I've kind of developed a positive habit in my life was that I turned a personal trainer. This is years ago. A personal trainer of mine into my client. So I had to keep coming back to him and doing lessons because he was business, and I guess vice versa. And that had an amazing positive impact on my life and my health and my confidence and stuff like that. And I was forced to keep going back because without him, I lost business. But then so I went there, and then I still improved my health and everything like that. So it was great.
I've got a follow-up question, man.
No,
Can
man,
you
don't
do
ask
a
about
pull-up?
pull-ups. Don't
Can
ask
you do a
about
pull-up,
pull-ups.
man?
I can do 3 now, right?
For context, last time Dave was here, we were trying to show him how to do pull-ups. But it was the funniest thing. It was like the cutest thing I ever seen.
Did you say the cutest thing you've ever seen?
Because it looked like I was your dad trying to help you do a pull-up, man. It was
Oh,
weird.
you shouldn't have touched me like that, though.
Yeah, yeah.
You're like,
That was a bit much. That was a bit
all right,
much.
I can think of some really inappropriate jokes, but I'm gonna stop. So I'm a good man. All right.
So anyway, I do recommend Atomic Habits by James Clear. We'll put all the details in the show notes. It's actually really interesting. It's a very, very interesting book, and I think will add a lot of value to a lot of people.
And if you want to support our show at the same time and get the book, go to businessoverdrinks.com/books or check out our show notes, as Terng mentioned, for a copy of the book.